I'm trained as a landscape architect. I'm a partner at SCAPE Landscape Architecture. SCAPE Landscape Architecture is really a firm that's devoted to jointly looking at how to bring together these sort of dynamic urban systems and social spaces with rich, robust, and textured ecologies. There's nothing like waves lapping at the foot of 14th Street to get people's minds sets to shift about how you are living in a city in a larger kind of environmental context. I've been sort of studying the New York bioregion for many years now. It's been a fantastic kind of learning landscape for me. You know, the big lesson for me was, I'll use this term, geomorphology, but it's really how the land and the water have been shaped and sort of mutually interact. So we proposed this project called Oyster Texture, which is a kind of look at how can you build ecological systems and protective coastal infrastructure together, and how can you begin to layer up these systems for sort of maximum protective benefit, and also how to bring back some of these systems and keystone species that were once part of our harbor. This represents a sort of framing research for what was called HUD Rebuild by Design initiative. So we really started by looking at this wider network of regional bays, ecologies, network of ecosystems, and network of economies. SCAPE was part of a team that looked at the relationship between water and cities is going to be one of the primary challenges of the next 50 years, 100 years, 300 years. And I think it's really important to integrate a kind of a natural systems approach into our thinking about infrastructure into the next century. My generation in particular, we are very focused on participatory actions, right? I don't think there's a future in which we can imagine real change happening without kind of ground-up initiatives and without sort of citizen involvement. And I think designing for climate change demands these new frameworks of participation. I think new ways of thinking about water requires a new kind of interdisciplinarity and a collaboration. So in our work on harbor resiliency, we've collaborated actively with marine biologists, with hydrodynamic modelers, with engineers, with the Army Corps. I think what was important about how we approached kind of resiliency relative to New York Harbor is that we began to separate and understand how different eco-infrastructural systems protect and can be layered up and combined. What's exciting to me about that is that could be extrapolated to many systems and to many places around the US.